Are you ready, Jerry?
I'm ready.
Just want to make sure you're ready, brother. Show me the money.
Yo, what's going on? Welcome in to the FSE channel. Today, we're continuing our schedule predictor series with the Eagles. The Eagles, it's like the Ohio State, but it's Ohio State.
Exactly.
Doesn't know how to finish a national championship. Hashtag #06, hashtag behind me, hashtag let's hit the intro. All right, guys, welcome in. If you survived the 3 hashtags I yelled at you before the intro, congratulations. You made it to this part of the video, to the point where I'm going to introduce Ryan here. Ryan, what's going on? Welcome into your defeat, I guess. I don't know, 9-7. That's fine, whatever.
Listen, it's good to be here. You know, I'm always going to defend my birds. I know who had a large vote in this. I'm not going to say names about Danny. I'm not going to drop his favorite team of the Cowboys. I'm not going to do that because, you know, people can infer who ruined the Eagles' record in you guys' vote and what team he roots for. So, you know, I'm going to say where he's wrong because I know that you did not put them at 9-7. You would have been like, you know, this is an 11-5 team for sure. But, you know, we'll get into it.
Yeah, I mean, I had the Cowboys at a measly 5-11, so you know I really don't want to get too much heat from the comment section down below because I'm pretty sure anyone watching this video is an Eagles fan. So hopefully I got some nice roast Tyler in the comments below. Please do that. Please leave a comment. Please like, subscribe, hit the bell. Please click that link down below. What's that link, you may ask, Tyler? You can get cool shades like this. Completely plug in everything we can. We got some other fun stuff down there. Go investigate it in our description. And now let's investigate this Eagles schedule. So you finished 9-7. We already kind of got your reaction from that. 5-1 in division. Beautiful, beautiful finish. The only team I think the Giants can't beat is you guys. Kind of just a tough setup for them, at least this year. I think the Giants can beat the Cowboys. Did they? No. Denny had a vote. We already covered that. But yeah, 5-1 in division. Your only loss is to the Eagles in Week 16. Your thoughts on that, good sir?
Listen, the birds usually split with the Cowboys. It's just kind of what happens. I mean, it's an unfortunate thing with taxes. Like it's just an automatic. Like I know that they'll split regardless of how good I feel about the Eagles versus Cowboys. They split every year, so that's to be expected. The Redskins, they're a weird team at best. Like their offense is to me.
At best, they'll have a winning record if they played in the CFL. I'll give you that.
Like they're right there for having the worst team in the league, and like in a league this year where I feel like most teams aren't bad this year. Like it's tough to say that like there's a definitive worst team. But like the Redskins are kind of brutal, and I mean the Giants should be better than last year. I mean Danny Dimes is not bad. Like I mean I think Danny Dimes, if he cuts down on fumbles and turnovers, he should be pretty adequate. I mean, he's got the weapons. They're offensively. I mean, they've got Slayton, Tate, Shepard, Ingram, Saquon, of course, Deion Lewis. Like their offense is good. Their defense is okay. Like they brought in Bradbury. He hasn't exactly moved the needle for me. So I think the Eagles usually handle the Giants, and I mean that's not going to be different this year. So in division, 5-1 sounds good. I'm sure there'll be a slip up somewhere. They'll probably finish 4-2, but 5-1 because this is a tough schedule. They might have to go 5-1 in the division.
Yeah, I think so as well. I really don't see a floor that isn't 5-1. I think your ceiling is 6-0 and your floor is 5-1. I think you'll take care of the Giants and the Redskins. I really like the Giants, and I want to say, yeah, I'll give them the Eagles
Yeah.
1 week, but they go week 17. We'll dive into the full schedule, but they go week 17 against the Eagles. Week 7. What is wrong with me? Week 7 against the Eagles at home. I can't say the Giants are going to go in there and beat them at home. And then they come off their bye week and face the Giants at gross-ass MetLife. So I just say I'm going to give them one of the wins. Redskins, we talked about that, handle them easily. You go 8-4 in conference. Don't really need to touch on that too much. You go 6-2 at home. You're flying high at home. Ozzy Osbourne flying high. How do you feel about that? Your home record looks pretty good.
Yeah, home record's pretty solid. I mean, I'm sure we'll go through the majority of this here, but there's one game at home where I think I'm gonna say that maybe you influence this as well. Week 14 at home against the Saints.
It's nuts.
Drew Brees on the road in the cold against the Eagles, who I don't know the last time my Eagles have beaten the New Orleans Saints. I might have been a toddler because they never beat the Saints. So, one, they're due, and two, Drew Brees in the cold is a lock for the Eagles. I feel like that's one of the games that, Danny might have influenced and swung the other way towards the Saints, and, that's going to be where discrepancy may be lying. So,
yeah. Well, my issue is really with the home games. Your two home away games. Gosh, Tyler, you're falling asleep at the wheel today. My issues are with the away games. Your splits there are terrible. If you do math, and the Eagles finished 9-7 in our prediction, and they finished 6-2 at home, it means they finished 3-5 away. Good math. If you did that at home, just reassurance. If you didn't, 3-5 away. That's my issue. But we'll talk about the two home losses. Ravens coming to you week 6. You didn't even put up an argument for that. No. I don't blame you. And then, the Saints, I probably voted for the Saints. I'm just going to hurt your feelings right now. My issues are with the away games, though. So 3-5, yes, Danny did have an influence. We'll just highlight that every single time. Your away losses start when you go week 4. So you start 3-0. You go week 4 to San Francisco. Tough game. That is a primetime game at 8:20. Love to see it. You get to see probably the best broadcasting crew in the NFL. Very excited to see that one. And then you go to Steelers, so that's another tough game. I don't know if I bought into the Steelers. I think week 5 I am. I don't know if past week 9 I am. I think this is a team that's going to fall apart. I don't see Big Ben completing a full season. Pittsburgh fans, come at me. I know you're not watching this video, so settle down. I don't know how I feel about the Steelers. Your thoughts on week 5, them taking the game?
Yeah, so it really does come down to Big Ben. I think we'll know early if Big Ben's going to be fine. I mean, he's 40 years old with Tommy John. It's not as much of a slam dunk as people are making it seem. Like he's just going to come back and be electric. There's a very good possibility he comes back and looks like garbage. We live in a parallel universe to that, I'm sure. It's going to happen at some point where there's a game you're like, is Big Ben good? It's going to happen. I mean, just his body type alone tells you, not sure if he's one to stand up to, major injuries over and over again. He's played in 4 16-game seasons in his entire career. I think there's definitely a chance for the Eagles to win that game. I know at home Big Ben versus on the road Big Ben are two different beasts. I don't know what coming off major injury Big Ben looks like. So once we figure out that, I think by week 3, Eagles fans will either know this is a winnable game or, we're just going to go into Pittsburgh and have a tough game.
Yeah, that's fair. You take care of the rest of your home games up to your bye week. You win week 10. Week 11, on the road,
Did Danny put this one in? Is this one?
I'm like, what the hell? Okay, I want to make this clear, right? So it's against Cleveland. Obviously, the schedule's sitting right in front of us. They go 8-8. There's no way in hell this team goes 8-8. I'm gonna smash them right now. I hate this team. The Browns aren't good. They won't ever be good. They'll be failures for life. The entire city of Cleveland can go eat dog shit. They're a joke organization all around, from their hockey, because they don't even have a hockey team, to their basketball, which is a fucking clown show, to their baseball team, which 3-1. Go Cubs. Hard go Cubs. Bam. Put the logo out there too. Go Cubs. I got a Cub sitting next to me. Yeah, that's how we do it here. I hate the entire city of Cleveland, and I hate the fact that they're going 8-8. And the fact that they want to give the Eagles this win is an absolute joke. It's Danny trying to push the Eagles down in any way possible. You know what? 10-6, I don't mind. But like, why the hell are you saying the Browns are going to win this game? It's numb. It's stupid.
Exactly. So, being a mediocre team and then beating the Eagles it's going to be a tough look. I know that's a Danny special. I don't see the Browns beating the Eagles. I think that the Eagles defense is probably too strong for the Browns offense. Like, I know the Browns have a solid offense, but the Eagles defense this year is probably the most underrated defense in the league. I mean, they went from having a bottom, I don't know, probably 5 cornerback room to having Darius Slay, who's a top 5 corner. They brought in Nickel Roby-Coleman, who's great in the slot. They've got Avonte Maddox, Rasul Douglas, Sidney Jones. Their cornerbacks are solid this year. I mean, I know they lost Malcolm Jenkins, which hurts a little bit. They moved Jalen Mills up there. It's gonna be tough for Baker, is what I'm getting at there. I mean, the Eagles have a bunch of guys that cover the slot well, and that's kind of what the Browns do. They like keeping the ball kind of on the inside. So I mean, I know Danny probably knew I'd be reacting to this at some point. So I'm 100% chalking this as something he thought would be hilarious to put out there. So, Danny, I hope the Cowboys go 6-10, and I hope they pick 12th, so they don't even get a good draft pick. So that's all I want.
There you go. Yeah, we've already done one of these videos. So this is the first one of the series. It's dropping today, Thursday, for you guys today, Thursday. It's like Tuesday for us. It's the first one of the series. Check out the Cowboys one. Actually, don't give Danny the gratification of checking out the Cowboys one. That's going to be dropping Saturday. And then if you really want to see an absolute banger on Tuesday, 6:23, we have Snacks also bash Danny. Basically, everyone in this division that isn't the Cowboys just destroys Danny on his terrible takes and blames Danny for everything. So it makes me feel better if I give you guys like a tough loss that you're yelling at Danny instead of me, which, you know, I somehow get gratification off of that. So, yeah, phenomenal. The Browns are terrible. The only way they win 8 games is if they run the ball every single game and they pull out a few ones with Kevin Stefanski. Because I do like Kevin Stefanski a good bit. Baker's an absolute joke, though. He's a bust, and he'll turn into Kirk Cousins, and people are going to be like, well, he's still a fantasy buy. And I'm like, so why aren't you buying into Kirk Cousins? You're idiots. We'll move on. You lose to the Packers on the road. Week 13. I don't know. You both cold weather teams. I don't know if I buy into that one. That's
it's tough. It's a tough one. The Eagles went into Green Bay last year and won. So just based on the fact that they won last year in Green Bay, it's going to be tough to win back-to-back years in Green Bay. That's just mentally where I'm at. It's just how it somehow works in football.
Yeah. Geez, I had actually convinced them not to let the Cardinals win in Week 15. Stupid, the fact that I had to do that. We'll kind of talk about this. So versus winning and versus losing record. 7-2 versus the losing. You take care of them. It's not an issue. For those math people at home, you know that their winning record is 2-5. That is brutal. I don't know if I buy into that at all. It's tough. It's really tough to say that they're gonna go 2-5 versus winning teams, but it's tough winning teams, right? So the 49ers, Steelers, Ravens, Saints, Cowboys, they're all winning record teams, and you're going down to them. You do beat the Cowboys one time, but that's rough. But 2-5, is that reasonable, or do you think we're just hammering you guys right now?
Listen, I'm sure Danny's argument, right, was like Carson Wentz can't win against good teams or some nonsense. Like I'm sure that was like his main sticking point. Carson Wentz has the second best win percentage against top 10 defenses in the NFL behind Tom Brady. So I don't know what you want from me. Like one of their 2 wins allotted against teams with winning records is against the Cowboys. Like if I guess the Browns technically count there.
Oh, they don't. They're 8-8, so they get thrown into the losing, which is dumb. I don't know why the hell it's like that, but it is.
Which is brutal. I guess you have the Seahawks as a losing record team, maybe, possibly.
No, that would be counting against. That would be your 1 win against the winning.
So the Rams aren't finishing above 500.
They are not. We bashed the Rams. Sean McVay is a bad coach, one-hit wonder.
I agree. He robbed Doug Peterson of a coach of the year. So I'm firmly against Sean McVay.
He's not.
Sean McVay 0-2 against Doug Peterson. No Super Bowl. Interesting. But yeah, I think the way this is set up pretty much has the Eagles as a mediocre team.
Dumb. I see both you and the Cowboys finishing at 10-6, and I give you guys the upper hand. I don't know. It would be hard to predict it because I see you both finishing 5-1 in the division, both beating each other. So, like, seeing who got the nod of that would have been interesting, kind of based on who you beat. But, I give you at least the Browns in Week 11. Like, what the hell is going on there? I mean, the Cowboys finished 12-4. I'm like, that's too much. Like, it's
The Eagle schedule is real weird this year. So I'm not. It's definitely tougher than years past. So I'm interested to see how it plays out. But if all things are equal, I mean I think they're at least a 10-6 team. So Danny can kick rocks on this one.
Absolutely. I completely back it. Geez, now the tough part, and this is going to shatter your heart, and I really don't want it to because you're a great guy.
You're breaking up with me?
Well, geez. You know what? I'll save it for a second because I do have to jump into this. So we kind of looked over some of it. Do you think there's any games in here? So you go 9-7. Any games you probably could have lost that we were being really nice to? It's hard for you to say that, but maybe a game that you could have won that we didn't give you. We talked about the Browns, but anything else?
Browns is a win and Saints is a win, but I could also see the Seahawks as a loss. I could, just because Russell Wilson is just an unbelievable quarterback. The Eagles seemingly can't beat Russell Wilson. I think Wentz is 0-3, maybe 0-4 against the Seahawks.
How about?
So it's definitely a tough matchup against Seattle. I think aside from that, that's pretty much how I'd see it, honestly.
Yeah. Well, we'll jump into the final kind of adventure before I talk about the draft pick. You make the playoffs.
Right.
But you go down. Go down to a fun team. You drop to the Cowboys in the wild card round. I say the home team wins. So when my 10-6 predictions, whoever was the home team out of that would have taken it. But the Cowboys do take it, and they get absolutely destroyed versus the Bucs in the division round. If that makes you feel any better,
a little bit for sure. I mean, I'm glad that Danny's team gets at least smoked. The thing is, I think if Carson Wentz gets in the playoffs this year, he's winning 2 games. I think it's going to be tough for him to have another year of them not being good enough in the playoffs with him as a quarterback. If they're the home team against the Cowboys, I think they run away with it. It's going to be interesting because I also don't know if Dak Prescott's going to be the quarterback of the Cowboys. Like there's a lot of things that could happen before this. And I think the Eagles are kind of in best case scenario right now. I know they lost Brandon Brooks, but they've got a ton of cap space. I think they'll sign Larry Warford, the Saint. So I think they'll be fine. But I think they make a run this year. I know I'm spoiled as an Eagles fan. They've made the playoffs the last 3 years. So,
Okay,
feels pretty good.
How about them Cowboys? They got a streak like that or anything?
And I don't think so. I
I
don't
know
think
they're really good at evening out their wins and losses, but
that is true. And I don't has Danny seen a Super Bowl?
I don't know. They're a great 500 team. I will say that.
Yeah, well,
Fantastic 500 team. What a joke. I will give this context for anyone who's like, all right, we're being a little too hard on Danny. He's also a Laker fan. He was a Heat fan when, LeBron was there. Goodness gracious, what other teams are winning a lot? That's who he's a fan of. I'm pretty sure he's a Capitals fan, while at the same time being a Canadian and a Maple Leaf fan. It makes no sense to me. But he somehow balances it. He does a great job pulling for the teams that win. Oh, a Yankee fan. No. Yeah. He's a Yankee fan because look at that. We can't have consistency in sports. Danny's an absolute bandwagoner. And when the Cowboys are back to poverty, he will be
probably an Eagles fan.
A Dolphin fan because the Dolphins are going to the Super Bowl like 20 times in the next 20 years. So that's how it works.
20 times next 20 years. That's pretty good,
biggest odds. It's like 0.00001 of that.
To be fair, Danny is stuck in Canada, so why not just pick your favorite team? Yeah,
Canadian police. I don't know if that's actually what they are. I don't know if that's just like a TV joke. Final thing, you pick 22. All right.
Yep.
So clearly, we didn't give you we didn't go over the hump this year. I'll be honest, if you guys got to the Bucks, you weren't going to win that game, although that would have been really fun to watch that game. Actually, wait, no, that's not even possible. If you guys would have won, well, hold on, let me do it. Let me see what happens when I do that. Okay, so if that were to have been the case, you guys would have gone on and faced the Saints, which I'm not going to say I would have let you win.
Yeah.
No offense. Sorry.
It's fine.
So I don't know if you really get past 2. But say you sit around the 22nd pick, your team has a little bit of improving to go to get over the hump and finally find their way back to the Super Bowl. How do you think they attack the draft? You don't have to know certain players, but what do you think they do to attack the draft?
So I think if I had to guess, they go pass rush. Okay. I think they would go DN first. So Brandon Graham's still here, but he's more of a run-stuffing D-end. Derek Barnett is in a contract year, I believe. He was 20. No, he's not quite there, but Derek Barnett hasn't been good enough for them to be like, wow, this guy's who we want to re-sign long-term. They've got a couple other guys that are like Josh Sweat, Deshaun Hall. They're fine, but they're not like actual true pass rushers. The Jim Schwartz defense is pretty much based in the fact that they need the defensive line to get home so the cornerbacks can kind of play their zones better. So I think they need a true pass rusher. They've been heavy interior D tackles recently. Fletcher Cox is getting up there in age, but they got Cox, they got Hargrave, they got Malik Jackson. They're all kind of older. So I guess if they went anywhere, it'd probably be D-line, and then maybe center is not really a first-round pick kind of thing. They would probably then go guard, maybe offensive guard. They're going to go trenches. So essentially, I expect them to go trenches. I think they'll give their outside guys a year to kind of just figure it out. So I wouldn't expect them to go high there. The cornerbacks, if there's a good one, I could understand it, but I think trenches is where they go.
I don't know. All right, so that's not a bad finish. You do make the playoffs. I've had to break a lot of hearts so far in some of these videos, but that's not really that hard of a heart to break. You do make the playoffs. It's tough. You lose to the Cowboys. I'm so sorry that you go 1-2 against them. It hurts my heart just as much as it hurts yours. But we do give redemption, and the Bucs absolutely destroy them, and it makes me very happy inside. But Ryan, it's been a lot of fun. We've laughed, we've cried.
Of course.
You know what? I think we've grown. I think that's important too. I'll let you take a chance, talk about whatever you guys got going on. heading up and climb the pocket and all everything you got cooking going on.
Yeah, so we're churning out our stuff. We're about to be in the absolute nitty gritty of the fantasy preseason. It's June 16th when we're recording this, so we are about to be in July, which is really the make the hay month for fantasy. So there will be articles every day on climbthepocket.com. We have weekly YouTube videos. We're going to start moving that hopefully up to more. I figured out OBS myself. So, maybe I'll just do some solo stuff, get some guests on. We're trying to expand here. We'll get you on there. I'll have you on and you just won't have sunglasses on and no one will have a clue who it is.
On no channel will I ever feature without sunglasses.
Yeah,
except the day that someone pays me an absorbent amount of money to stop looking like an idiot on camera.
How does $12 sound?
Ooh, what is that like? Oh,
it's pretty good.
That is. All right, yeah, I got some contemplation to do. It won't be this video though, so if you're watching to the end to see if I pull my sunglasses, stop joking, clown. All right, I'll let you finish. I'm sorry.
No, listen,
I got aggressive.
I was expecting you to just cut it there. That would have been a great just exit. But follow me at Bootleg Fantasy at Climb the Pocket. Our YouTube's the same. And you'll see me around when I'm 6-0 in our Dynasty League.
Oh, that was a lot of fun too, guys. I'll throw that in the outro. The little clip art thingy that pops up our subscribe thing. Maybe check that out if you aren't subscribed. Maybe this playlist over here. Am I pointing the right way? I don't know. Maybe this video over here, which is our expert league recap thingy. It's right here. Click that. And then click Ryan's face where there won't be a subscribe button, but it will be down in the description below where you can find Climb the Pocket, his Twitter, all that fun stuff. Go check it out and check out sunglasses. Yeah, it means a lot. Guys, have a great rest of your day.